This alt season indicator just flashed.
Warning.
In crypto spaces community, I think it's super important to pay attention to all your favorite altcoins, especially the ones that we're covering on this channel on a consistent basis, because I think these will be the winners going into the next bull cycle, the next bull run. Now, obviously, if you're a Patreon member, this is going to be a great video and breakdown, so be sure to watch until the end. You won't want to miss anything that we talk about in this video. Like, comment, subscribe. Always remember, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this is all entertainment purposes only. Today is Friday, 12th June 2026, and let's take a look at the Altseason index. So this is the 75% of the top 50 coins outperformed by Bitcoin over the last 3 months. When you see this indicator here at a 45, we are halfway there to Altseason. It's going to be only a matter of time until you see this indicator move to the red side of the bar. And you don't want to be the one that is FOMOing into projects when it's at the red side of the bar. You want to be buying or dollar cost averaging into projects when it's in the green side here. We are at a 45 on the Altseason index. You zoom into this chart here, you could see that it's at the halfway point, right, at June 11th here, and it's been at this halfway point for a while. Okay, I personally don't think it comes that much lower. Maybe it drops back down to a 31 or a 39 because we're already in extreme fear. So I don't think it's going to drop that much lower. I don't think it's going to revisit these 20 levels, these 12 levels, these 20, the 22 point levels. I don't think it's going to drop that low, revisit that. Now, I could be wrong. I think it's just going to come back down to 35, like I said, and that would be the last time to personally, I think, get exposure to alts at cheap prices. Like I said, it could be wrong. It could drop a lot lower, but I think Bitcoin season is pretty much over for now. And whenever we start to go back into the next cycle, I think that's going to happen very soon. So I think it's not a wrong time. I really don't think it's a bad time to start dollar cost averaging into your gems, into projects that you have conviction on. Crypto Spaces community members, I see a few of them have broken down their allocations into 5 conviction projects that they're bullish on. And I really do believe all the projects that I've covered on the channel will do exceptionally well, that are still undervalued, that are not super high overvalued, right? And could still give 5 to 10x gains in the future. The most powerful alt season begins after this shakeout. A massive short squeeze about to start on low cap alts. And let's take a look at the image here so you guys can see. In 2017 to 2018, a lot of people got massively wealthy in this cycle here. When the golden cross finally took place, that's when everyone loved crypto, the biggest cycle ever. Everyone loves that 2017, 2018 cycle here. And then it happened again, right? At 2020 to 2021, we got that golden cross, and then we saw that massive 2021 cycle, right? But for the past, what, 4 to 5 years now? For the past 4 to 5 years, we've been in the downtrend. Devastating stuff. And it's so crazy to think about, because if I did well in a downtrend, right? This was 2023 to 2024. This tiny little bump right here was when everyone did well in crypto and got a little bit of a bull run with like meme coins, Solana, Sui did well also. Some AI coins like FET, Render, etc. And this is why I'm so excited and so optimistic for the next bull run, because if 2023 to 2024 was so weak, right? One of the weakest, the worst bull runs we had here, with this little blip with the overall alt season index trending down, okay? And so much people made 6 to 7 figures. What will happen in the weakest bull run, in the weakest one? What will happen when we enter this golden cross that is taking place right now, and then the alt season index actually trends up to that $2.8 trillion level, right? What will happen here? So this is speculation. Obviously, it's not guaranteed, But I am optimistic, right? The golden cross just flashed right here once again for the third time. A lot of people expected alt season last year. It didn't happen. So maybe going into 2026, going into 2027, we get this massive alt season here. So your altcoins look just like they did in 2017, the beginning of a massive run here. So as you could see, alt season, look at the chart. You see the falling wedge, the breakout of the wedge, and then massive expansion in 2017. And then what happened in these past 4 to 5 years? Altcoin holders got wrecked. It was the weakest bull run ever. All the altcoins, most of them, did nothing, right? The market is way more selective now, but for the coins that do win, for the coins that will do well, even if it's way more selective because there's millions of coins now, once you pick a coin that is strong against Bitcoin or that is strong against the overall market, in my opinion, I think you have 5x to 10x gains on the cards in the future, okay? So as you can see in the 2026 chart here, you could see this falling wedge, accumulation, and then a breakout, the golden cross taking place. You can see we're back in extreme fear, 18. We're back in extreme fear. Now, I'm not saying they'll just, go, balls deep into coins. I'm not saying just full port altcoins and stuff like that right now. I am saying though, if you want to start getting exposure, if you haven't started to DCA, I think it's still a good time to do so, man. I think you can't wait. You don't know when things are going to take off from the bottom. Just like how you can't time the top, you can't time the bottom. Bitcoin here, under 64K. Ethereum, under $1,700. Bitcoin is up 2%. I'm not sure if we're going to have one more leg down to maybe 50K, maybe less than 50K. I'm not sure. It could happen. It won't rule it out. But I think, like I said, it's a good time here to at least start, okay? Because if we drop, say the lowest we go is 50K, the bottom is in, and then all of a sudden the market, catches everyone off guard and starts taking off from that 50K, maybe if it just drops to 55K, will it be that much difference from 63K to 55K? Not that much difference. A lot of coins, I got people asking me to check out coins in the Patreon private Discord. If your coin is, just bleeding against Bitcoin, that's a high risk coin. You gotta look for coins that are holding structure, that are, I would say, that haven't seen a bull run as yet. I would say that have nice utility and funding. And you have to look at the chart as well. The chart is really the telltale for you. If it's bleeding against Bitcoin, it's not showing any strength. It's the coin is weak, right? So I wouldn't, if you're gonna invest in coins like that, I would say those are more gambles, right? Those are gambles. Everything crypto is a gamble, but those are even higher risk. They're on the higher risk curve because you're not sure if they're gonna come back or not. You don't know. You don't know if they're gonna come back or not. So one of the ones that is showing strength and is strong against the rest of the market here is MONAD here, right? At 21 cent, MONAD. We spoke about it so many times on the channel. I know people are like, oh, what about the tokenomics? Man, you should see the people invested in this thing. They're gonna want to see their money go higher and higher, okay? People are FOMOing into the SpaceX IPO today, right? Today is the SpaceX IPO. They're FOMOing in at the top of a SpaceX IPO because big money's backing the SpaceX IPO with Elon. Look at the big money backing projects like MONAD here at 21 cents. So it came back down here to this support level, and it's right now in the support level. So this is why I say this is a good time to dollar cost average into MONAD here at this 21 cent. And you don't, like I said, even if you just get 10,000 to 100,000 tokens, coins, that's a good bet, man, because guess what, that could become $1,000 if you have 10,000 coins. You have 100,000 coins, that could become $10,000, right? But say for example MONAD goes on a crazy alt season run and actually goes to $1. You only got 10,000 coins for 220 bucks. It goes to $1, that's gonna be 10K. From 220 bucks to $10,000. Insane levels of growth. And it's possible. It's only possible in crypto, right? obviously you would have to hold. You probably have to hold for a year. But 10K from 220 bucks is great. You have 100,000 coins, you make $100,000, right? In a year. That's what, that's someone's high-end job. You're in a high-end job, you make 100K a year, or you have a successful business, you make 100K a year. You could do that with MONAD here, man. But obviously, never invest more than you're willing to lose, guys. Congrats to Anoma going live on MONAD. Money moves on MONAD privately, so go transact and pay with your favorite assets on MONAD with privacy. You see a lot of, privacy has been one of the leading sectors recently in crypto with Zcash, for example. And now privacy is accessible on MONAD as well with this Anoma D app, right? This is very bullish stuff, guys. Lighter, man, absolutely crushing it. Look at how strong this chart is. We spoke about Lighter in the Patreon private at 89 cents down here. It's made a move to $1.60, as you could see. And that is fantastic stuff, because guess what? I think Lighter is going to be one of the competitors, or one of the, one of the top perpetual dexes built on Ethereum mainnet, right? I think it's going to be one of the leading altcoins that helps Ethereum to get more revenue, or value accrual once again, which will be beneficial for both Lighter and Ethereum here. Okay, so Lighter is $1.59 now from that 89-cent call out, which is up around, let's see here, around a 78% move, which is fantastic. I think Lighter has potential to get to either $5 to $10 in the future, guys. You can see this chart. This is what I'm telling you. Look for charts like this, okay? Maybe they had their launch, they bled down a bit, they found a bottom, right? And then they started their bull trend. You see that even though we're not in a bull run yet, some coins have already started their bull run, right? And these are the type of coins you want to have exposure to, in my opinion. But get exposure to the winners. Even if you cut 50% of a coin that you were super bullish on to get exposure to a winner, I think you should do your best to get exposure to the winners, man. That's how you make money. Patreon members were talking and saying if Lighter could get to, $10, maybe even $15 to $20 in the future. That's another 10x move. But from here, I think a 5x is possible for Lighter here from this level here. Let's see, from $1.60, 400%. That's $8. So $10 per Lighter, like I said, I really think is on the cards, man. If you were paying attention, you were part of the private group, you were part of the Patreon, you would have got that, seen. I made multiple videos on Lighter at $1 per Lighter, and then I even made a video when it dropped to that 89-cent level, and now it's climbing here. You can see that the Lighter team is listing stocks to their perp dex, right? Perpetual exchange, right? People are doing leverage, long and shorts. The era of holding spot is going less and less out the window. But look at this, man. They have Anthropic here listed 5x leverage pre-IPO. Before you could, the IPO where you could buy Anthropic on the stock market, you could trade it on leverage on Lighter. They recently listed the SpaceX IPO, OpenAI as well. This is so bullish, right? 5x leverage for OpenAI. They recently listed the SpaceX IPO as well. Stretch from Michael Saylor, 5x leverage. Great use case and utility, and that's why the coin is showing so much strength here. DRV, man, I think $1 per DRV is on the cards. 10x, man, I really do. On-chain options protocol. There's certain trading techniques you could only acquire with options, and DRV is leading in volume for on-chain options, right? And I would think, the big money would pay attention to a project like this. There's already people that are trading, hyperliquid traders that are using DRV to trade hyperliquid in their options platform. I talked about DRV at around 5 cent, 6 cent. It's at 10 cent now, but look at how strong this project is. It is on an uptrend. You see, it had its bottom and it's already started a bull trend. Guys, if your coin is not in a bull trend and your coin is just going down, lower lows against the market, I would say that coin is high risk and a gamble, man. Getting exposure to a coin like that, in my opinion, is not a smart bet to make. Look for coins that are strong in these market conditions. Maybe you just have to be patient for a 5x move. That's okay. Patience pays, right? You make extra money in crypto, you build your stack, you compound those gains. Eventually, that, you know, even if you just have $1,000, eventually compounding those gains turns into life-changing gains, especially when we enter a massive alt season, right? You also see that they do weekly buybacks as well to help with their fundamentals, right? Weekly buybacks, bullish, right? Let me show you guys. I wanted you to see this tweet here. You can see their fees are exploding as well. There are people that are trading on this platform, and that's why they're growing so much in their fees. Recently, one trader bought 6,000 of hyperliquid calls on DRV and walked away with 124K in profit 20 days later at 1,815% return. TradFi markets, the stock markets, it's called calls and puts. So they basically bought the stock market version of a long, right, with calls on hyperliquid with 6K. As you can see on here, this is not clickbait, as they said. That's not a typo. They bought 6K of hyperliquid calls and profited 6 figures in 20 days. Now, this is the thing, you know, trading on platforms like this are way higher risk. It's way riskier than holding spot. But if you can stomach the risk tolerance, the upside potential to trade on platforms like DRV is massive, okay? This is why I'm bullish on this project as well. Next project we have is BNKR. I talked about BNKR ad nauseum at this point. We talked about BNKR at 30 mil down here, 30 mil, 33 mil. It made a move from this low up 2x, right? So you could have already de-risked your BNKR. It went from 30 to 33 mil to 72 mil. If you paid attention to the Patreon, the private group, you would have got that DCA level. We talked about it so many times. And then now you could de-risk your initial investment and hold the rest in the project for the long term, right? So if you're new to the project, it's at 48 mil market cap right now here. And BNKR, in my opinion, is in a great spot, man. It's in a great spot. Again, these are the projects that I think will go parabolic when a bull run comes back, when an alt season returns. And BNKR is in a great spot at this 48 mil market cap level, right? As long as you're buying under 100 mil, you're in a good spot. When it's at 100 mil, the only upside you have left is a 5x to 10x, right? But from here, in my opinion, 50 mil market cap, under 50 mil, 48 mil, you still got a 10x to 20x in BNKR from here, personally, right? Because it could go to 500 mil to a billion market cap. It could go higher. But I think a 10x to 20x is very possible, right? They have their own ecosystem of agents, right? You can see 100K inference program. They're running a 100K inference program for people that shipped, build, and experiment. They could, you know, get cash prizes of up to $100,000 if you build a fantastic agent on BNKR. Next project we got is SERV, OpenSERV. We talked about OpenSERV again in the private Patreon at 1.5 cent, man. Back down here at that 1.5 cent level. And from since then, it went on to do 5x, 6x, man. OpenSERV is going to be another 10x call on the channel. We talked about Venice, VVV, that did a 10x. OpenSERV is going to be another 10x call on the channel. And I'm telling you, the other projects I mentioned, you see they're not taking offers yet. I think they will. And those will also be 5x, 10x calls, right? So OpenSERV is a 5x for the Patreon private members, man. And this is what I say, you got to pay attention, right? So you can see right now OpenSERV is sitting under 70 mil market cap. You could still potentially see a 5x move out of OpenSERV from here, maybe even a 10x move. I think OpenSERV to, you know, 10 cents, I think that's so possible. That's just a move back to its previous highs, right? That 10 cents level is just a move back to its previous highs, which is at 100 mil market cap. It breaks past that previous high and goes into, like I said, once it breaks the previous all-time high, it goes parabolic, man. It could go from 100 mil to a billion market cap. It could go higher than a billion market cap. It's possible here. You can see right here, NVIDIA shipped a new frontier model. The base model scored 79. SERV, armed with SERV, it jumped to 90.78. So even you could even use SERV to help make your AI model smarter. I didn't even, man, that's bullish, okay? With SERV, you could help make your AI models smarter. That is so bullish to see. So if you are using NVIDIA, you want to stack your AI models, use OpenSERV to do it. My apologies, guys. My camera overheated while recording. That's okay. That happens sometimes. But the next project we got is Avici, man. Sitting at $11 million in market cap. You see, recently just had a bounce. It fell to 68 cents one more time. Now it's up 22%. I think this thing is just going to be patient. You just have to be patient. Hold. Patient. Hold. What is Avici? Avici is a neobank, a decentralized banking ecosystem where they have cards that you could use, and you could basically hold crypto and get cash. You earn rewards for using their platform. And recently through Avici, they had $6 million in volume going through their platform. Look at this, man. $6 million in total volume, meaning there's users here. There's a legitimate business being built. This is not just a crypto, speculative crypto. There's something of value and fundamentals here. It had a massive run back here all the way up to $7. But if it just kept falling and dropping and making new lows, I'd have been like, okay, this project is not coming back. It might be cooked. It might be over. But you can see it's starting to make a move up, right? It's had a bounce. It's trying to break to that upside. I'm telling you. So I think Avici will do extremely well in the future. Obviously, nothing is guaranteed. Don't overexpose yourself. But I think a move to $10 per Avici. Last time it hit 7. A move to $10, which is around a 10x, maybe even more. Maybe it goes to $50, right? Which would be 500 million market cap, right? From 11 mil market cap to 500 mil market cap, a 50x move. It's possible, guys. It really is. This is crypto. It's only possible in crypto, guys. So pay attention, man, because things could change fast. And the projects I speak about here are, in my opinion, like I said, projects that have value. They have fundamentals. The charts show me, I can see the charts compared to other coins. The charts show me that they're strong. There's demand. There's buyers. So with that, just want to say thank you for tuning into the video. As always, guys, if you found value, like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to join the Patreon, man. We have 83 members in the Patreon. It's only $5 a month to join. And I'm telling you guys, I provide early alpha with these videos. I'm always in the private Discord discussing with patrons things that I think, what happens in the market, insights, checking out projects for the Patreon members. Even recently shared, a more degen project in the chill degen chat. And again, it's only $5 a month. It's very affordable. All the videos that I make, all the content I make is exclusive on the Patreon first, but it is limited. We only have 58 spots left for the $5 tier. And once those 58 spots are filled, guys, it will increase to $10 per month. Early bird gets the worm, man. I'm telling you. I highly recommend that you become a part of the private family of crypto spaces, guys. Remember to give praise and glory to the Lord God Jesus. Thank God for everything. And I'll catch you in the next one.